For Unit 1, Constitution of alloys and phase diagram. The topic is phase diagrams and phase reactions. Phase diagram and phase reactions. The first question. An isomorphous phase diagram indicates that the two components are, okay, is isomorphous phase diagram means the four options, okay, completely soluble in liquid state but insoluble in solid state 1. Option B is completely soluble in both liquid and solid state. Option C is completely insoluble in both liquid and solid state, partially soluble in the solid state. So is isomorphous phase diagram means, okay, is completely soluble in both liquid and solid state. This is the answer. B is correct one. Okay, so isomorphous means that two component is completely soluble in both liquid and solid state. Okay. The next, what is the degree of freedom F at any invariant point in a binary phase diagram at constant atmospheric pressure? Okay, constant atmospheric pressure. So using Gibbs phase rule, F equal to C minus P plus 2 is a general one. Okay, in atmospheric pressure condition means this is 1. Okay, so only one invariant point. See, any invariant point degree of freedom is 0. Okay, this is 0, always 0. Okay, the answer A is correct one. Which reaction represent the transformation liquid to solid 1 solid 2 upon the cooling? Okay, so liquid to solid 1 solid 2. Okay, so in iron carbide diagram, okay, so generally which reaction liquid to solid 1 solid 2? So using eutectic reaction, okay, eutectic reaction, so liquid is converted to austenite and cementite. Okay, okay, any reactions, okay, liquid to solid 1 solid 2 means that reaction is called eutectic reaction. Okay, transformation of solid 1 to, okay, solid 2 solid 3 upon the cooling is known as, okay, so one solid is converted to two solids. Okay, that reaction is this point, eutectoid reaction. Okay, this point. So austenite is one solid, alpha ferrite is one solid, cementite is one solid. Okay, one solid is converted to two solid at the particular composition and temperature. Okay, that reaction is called eutectoid reaction. Okay, one liquid is converted to two solid means eutectic, one solid is converted to two solid means eutectoid reaction. Which equation correctly represents the peritectic upon reaction upon cooling? So in peritectic reaction, solid, okay, delta ferrite is solid, liquid is converted to solid. Okay, so liquid plus solid 1, liquid plus solid 1 is converted to solid 2. Okay, that is the peritectic reactions. Okay, generally peritectic reaction is one liquid one solid is converted to one solid. Okay, that is less liquid plus solid 1 is converted to solid 2. In peritectoid reaction involves which of the following phase transformations upon cooling? So in peritectic reaction, two solid is converted to mixing of two solid is converted to one single solid. That is the peritectoid reaction. Okay, two mixing of solid solution is converted to one solid. That is the peritectoid reactions. Okay. On a phase diagram, the line that separate the fully liquid field from the two phases, liquid and solid field, is called liquidus line. Okay, so this is the liquidus line. Okay, liquidus line that separate the fully liquid field from the two phase liquid and solid field. Okay, இந்த லைன் வந்து என்ன பண்ணோம், இங்கே வந்து லிக்விட் ப்ளஸ் சாலிட் மிக்சிங் இருக்கும். இந்த லைன் தான் வந்து லிக்விட் அண்ட் சாலிட்ஸ் அப்படி, இந்த பக்கம் ஃபுல்லாக லிக்விட் ப்ளஸ் சாலிட் மிக்சிங் இருக்கும், இந்த பக்கம் எல்லாமே லிக்விடாக இருக்கும். ஸோ இந்த லைன் தான் என்ன பண்ணும், செப்பரேட் பண்ணும் லிக்விட் ஃபேஸும் லிக்விட் ப்ளஸ் சாலிட் ஃபேஸும் வந்து செப்பரேட் பண்ணுற லைன் தான் இந்த லிக்விடஸ் லைன். ஓகே, தி சால்வஸ் லைன் on a phase diagram represent the boundary between, okay, so the solvus line on a phase diagram represent the boundary between. Which one is the solvus line? This is the solvus line. Okay, this is the solvus line for one component, this is solvers line for another one component. Okay, so this is the single phase solid and two phase solid mixer. Okay, இந்த solvers line வந்து என்ன ஆகும்னா இந்த solvers phase diagram represents the boundary between the single phase solid. Okay, இங்க வந்து பார்த்தீங்கன்னா single phase இருக்கும், ஆல்ஃபா ஃபேஸில் இருக்கும் single phase. ஓகே, இந்த லைனுக்கு இந்த பக்கம் சால்வர்ஸ் லைன், இந்த லைனுக்கு இந்த பக்கம் ஆல்ஃபா ப்ளஸ் பீட்டாவாக மாறும். ஓகே, ரெண்டு சொல்யூஷன் மிக்சர்னு கிடைக்கும். ஸோ இந்த சால்வர்ஸ் லைன் தான் இந்த ஃபேஸ் ஆல்ஃபா ஃபேஸையும் ஆல்ஃபா ப்ளஸ் பீட்டா ஃபேஸையும் செப்பரேட் பண்ணுது. ஓகே, சிங்கிள் ஃபேஸ் சாலிட் அண்ட் டூ ஃபேஸ் சாலிட் மிக்சர். ஓகே, இதுதான் பவுண்ட்ரியாக செயல்படுது. ஓகேவா, இதுதான் ஆன்சர். What tool is used to determine the phase composition of two phase region at a specific temperature? Okay, so the answer is one. A for lever rule, B gives phase rule, a vertical alloy composition line, a horizontal tie line. Okay, so what tool is used to determine the phase composition of two phases region at a specific temperature? Okay, in the specific temperature. Okay, இந்த specific temperature கண்டுபிடிக்கிறது வந்து horizontal tie line. Okay, this is a horizontal tie line. Okay, the lever rule is directly used to calculate the option A number of phases present, chemical composition of a single phase, relative mass fraction of the phases in a two phase region, crystal structure of the existing phase. So the answer is the lever rule is mainly used to find, okay, calculate the relative mass fraction of the phases in a two phase region. Okay, relative mass fraction of the phases in a two phase region. Okay, so ரெண்டு சொல்யூஷன் மிக்ஸ் ஆகும்போது ரெண்டு காம்பவுண்ட் மிக்ஸ் ஆகும்போது அந்த ரெண்டு காம்பவுண்டில் ஏ அண்ட் பி மிக்ஸ் ஆகும்போது ஏ எவ்வளோ பர்சன்டேஜ் இருக்குது, பி எவ்வளோ பர்சன்டேஜ் இருக்குது ஃபைண்ட் அவுட் பண்ணுறது தான் இந்த ரிவல் ரூல் யூஸ் பண்ணுறோம். ஓகே, how many phases coexist at the equilibrium at the invariant point in a binary alloy system? Okay, 1 2 3 4 ஆப்ஷன் கொடுத்துருக்காங்க. ஸோ சி 3 ஓகே எக்ஸிஸ்ட் ஆகும். ஓகே, 3 தான் ஜென்ரலாக எக்ஸிட் ஆகும், கோஎக்ஸிட் in the equilibrium. What type of line on a binary phase diagram represent the absolute lower limit for the existence of any liquid phase during cooling? Okay, so option A liquidus, B solidus line, C solvus line, D is isotherm line. Okay, so what type of line on bound binary phase diagram represent the absolute lower limit of the existence of any liquid phase during cooling? So answer B is solidus line. Okay, is a solidus line. Okay, this is a solidus line. Okay, is a binary phase diagram represent the absolute lower limit. Okay, this is the lower limit existence of any liquid phase during cooling. Okay, this is the solidus line. The peritectile reaction can be described as a solid state equivalent of which reaction? Okay, peritectile reaction can be described as a solid state equivalent of which reaction? So option A eutectic, B to eutectide, C peritectic and isomorphous reaction. So answer is peritectic reaction. Okay, so reaction can be described as a solid state equivalent of which reaction? Okay, peritectic reaction. What is a symbolic representation of peritectile reaction upon the cooling? So 4 option, correct option is alpha. Okay, alpha ferrite plus beta is converted to austenite. Okay, alpha plus beta is converted to gamma. Okay, this is the option is the peritectile reaction. Okay, during eutectile reaction a single solid phase decomposes into distinct solid phase because, okay, during the eutectile reaction, okay, iron carbon eutectile reaction at the 720 degree Celsius and 0.8% of carbon ஏற்படும். அந்த single solid phase is austenite is decomposes into alpha plus perlite, alpha plus cementite. Okay, Fe3C convert ஆகும். ஓகே, ஸோ அதுக்கு 4 ஆப்ஷன் கொடுத்துருங்க. கரெக்ட் ஆப்ஷன் இஸ் தி சாலிட் சால்பிலிட்டி லிமிட் ஆஃப் த ஒரிஜினல் சிங்கிள் ஃபேஸ் இஸ் எக்ஸீடட் அப்பான் கூலிங். ஓகே, அதனால தான் வந்து the austenite is decomposed into ferrite and cementite convert on solid solid limit of original, okay, single phase. So this is a single phase is exceeded upon the cooling. Okay, so cooling 720 degree இருந்து கீழே வரும்போல, ஓகே, கூலிங் வரும்போல இந்த டூ ஃபேஸ் ரீஜன் வந்து, ஓகே, அது அப்போ தான் வந்து இது நடக்கும். ஓகே, On a binary phase diagram, horizontal line spanning a two phase region at a specific temperature is known as, okay, is tie line. This line is called tie line, okay. At the horizontal, okay, horizontal line spanning a two phase region at a specific temperature is known as a tie line. Next, using Gibbs phase rule, okay, P plus F equal to C plus 1 for the constant pressure. If two phases coexist and two component, what is the variance of degree of freedom? Okay, so two phases, this is 2, C is also 2, okay, this 2 cancel, C F equal to 1, degree of freedom is 1, okay, F equal to 1, degree of freedom is 1. An alloy whose composition lies exactly at a minimum melting point of a system exhibiting complete liquid solubility and limited solid solubility is called, okay, complete solid solubility and limited solid solubility is called, okay, is called eutectic alloy. So the answer is eutectic alloy, okay, exhibiting complete liquid solubility and limited solid solubility, okay, is called eutectic alloy. In a phase diagram, what does a vertical line represent the pure component or a fixed component signify? Okay, for option, so this option is the vertical line. Okay, tie line la vertical line which represent the is stoichiometric intermediate phase with no composition range. Okay, with no composition range is the answer. So if you apply the lever rule and find the solid phase fraction is 0.75, what is the remaining liquid phase? Okay, so total is 1. So 7.1 minus 0.75 is equal to 0.25 is the answer. Okay, 0.25 is the answer. Okay.